All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatir from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. All right, and this sit down was inspired by just a few things that I've been seeing in the news. You know, you got all the hate-filled rhetoric from many people against the Rotini hair people over in Israel, which is highly justified. You also have incidents has happened with Puff Daddy. Not that he means anything in the grand scheme of things, but stuff with Puff Daddy. And then I saw something on YouTube with Candace Owens on how now she's getting her platform taken away by the Rotini hair group. All right, because she said something that would be considered anti-you-know-what. And so you have that on top of, things happening with Polite and other people. And it's one of those things where I was just meditating in the spirit that we are starting to see the latter end. Okay, the scripture clearly tells us that in Galatians, the 6th chapter and the 7th verse, that it says, "Be ye not deceived, for the Most High is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall ye also reap." Okay, and we're in the end of days, the end time, where we're starting to see a lot of people catch the judgment. Okay, we're starting to see the latter end of everybody's works, whether they be good or whether they be evil. Because when you're not in the truth, and even when you're in the truth, okay, you have moments where you look at your life and you look at the lives of other people and you're wondering, why are you struggling so much? Why is life so hard for you? Okay, why is it that you got a guy that can do wickedly and prosper in the world, while you so-called try to do the right thing when you're not in the truth, and then when you're in the truth doing the right thing, and all these people just seem to be living so lavishly. All right, they're able to have all the notoriety, all the fame. They got all the money. They're able to get all the finest girls, the finest things in life. And sometimes a lot of those things you don't even really care for. Okay, it's just the fact that when you look at their lives, they seem to live life with a certain amount of ease and comfort. Okay, and this is something that when you read the scriptures, is spoken about in the Bible. Now I can't really get it because I'm in transit back to the house, so I need to pay attention to the road. But nonetheless, this dilemma is spoken of not only in the book of Job, but the inspiration about the latter end is also spoken of in the Psalms by our mighty King David. Because when Job talks about it, roughly paraphrasing, he says, why do, I think it's something around, why do the wicked grow old and rich and basically have an easy life? And then it's reiterated, as I mentioned before, in the book of Psalms, where King David, he says that my feet near slipped when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Okay, and he pretty much goes over the same things that Job did. Even King David was just like, man, I can't help but get a little jealous myself. But when you read later on in that book of Psalms, King David, he mentions, after all these things that he sees as it pertains to the life of a person that does not follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, King David said, it wasn't until I went into the house of the Lord. Basically, it wasn't until David really sat down, read these words, and really grasped the understanding of what the Lord requires of us and what happens when you do good and when you do evil. It's like David said, it was then when he went into the house of the Lord, he said, then I saw their latter end. So knowing, as King David knows, that the wages of sin is death, he knows that a life that is not committed and dedicated to serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is a life that, though it may seem glorious in the beginning, is a life that eventually ends in disgrace. Okay, a life that is not honorable and pleasing to the Lord. And see, this is what we have in the modern day. We're witnessing a lot of people, heathen and Jake alike. We're starting to see the latter end of all the works that they've done in their life. Okay, you got all, like as I mentioned, you got Candace, Puffy, Polite, okay, the Rotini hair people. You're starting to see the latter end. Here you got these folks like Candace Owens, whose platform was funded by a Rotini hair guy. I think it was like David Horowitz, something like that. Okay, her platform got funded by that group, and now she said something that was deemed anti, you know what? Now they stripped her of her platform. They're calling her ignorant. They're calling her all types of names. And see, this chick thought she was doing good because she married one of them. And every time something happened with Jake, she was one of the first ones to speak so badly about, well, you know, this is what's going on in the black community. And, you know, if they would just educate themselves and just abide by the law. I mean, she said all types of off the wall stuff. Like, I never could stand Candace Owens. Other than the fact when she talked about feminism. That was the only time I could halfway listen to her because she was on point with that. But anything outside of that, okay, it was all about degrading her own people. And now, her, just like Polite and Puff Daddy and the Rotini hair people, you're starting to see the end result of a wicked life that they created for themselves. Now nobody likes them. And they trying to figure out why nobody likes them. As the scripture says, hey man, who can pity a charmer when he's bitten by a snake? All right. All these people that I have mentioned knew very well that they were living a lie. They were doing things that were not pleasing to the Lord. And now we're seeing the end result, okay, which goes to show you how on point and true that these scriptures are. As I mentioned before, we've all had those times where we're just like, damn, man, everybody seems to be doing good and great but me. Why do I struggle so much? Then when you come into the truth, you realize, oh, well, damn, we under the curses. Is there any way out of this? If I start doing good, is there any type of reward? Yes, there is. The scripture gives you, the Bible gives you plenty of scriptures that tell you that when you come to serve the Lord and you fight valiantly for him and this truth, there is a reward. Scripture tells you, hey, baby, we're going to receive a crown of life. Ezra said, who are these people with crowns and psalms in their hand? He said, these are the people who stood stiffly for the name of the Lord. All right, they got their reward. This is the latter end that King David and Job saw. All right, even though, as the scripture says, the triumphing of the wicked is for a moment. All right, Job and King David knew this. They knew the triumphing of the wicked is for a moment. All right, but the one who's going to truly have the last laugh in all of this is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, who offers an eternal reward. All right, an incorruptible crown, not a corruptible crown. Okay, these are the things that Job and King David saw were the latter end. And as we soon reach this climactic end of this divine script, you can see more and more the latter end, not only of the wicked, but of the righteous. So that's all I wanted to say on this. I hope you all were edified. Till the next time, we're going to say Shalom.